As you can probably tell, I'm not in England at the moment. I'm actually in Japan, in the middle of a park. Actually, it's a memorial shrine, which is very, very large, and most of it is just wooded and gardens and stuff. So I thought I'd do a little lesson video as I have my camera and my recorder with me. I've been sitting here just sort of like doodling around and coming up with ideas and things, and it got me thinking about a question that comes up reasonably frequently. Usually when a student is getting to a stage where they're very comfortable with their instrument and they're starting to understand how to put chord progressions together and how to create melody lines, they will start to want to compose songs of their own. It's a bit of a weird question to ask, and I've asked it myself to players in the past, you know, how do you write songs? But I don't know, it's a very different approach for everyone. So what I'm going to do today is make a couple of suggestions. In fact, I was going to split this into a couple of lessons. So first of all, I was going to talk about something which is relatively abstract, but I think that it's a good starting point because it gets you thinking out of the box. Most songs that you're going to encounter are written in 4/4, which basically means there are 4 beats in each bar. So if you switch on the radio at any given time, you're more than likely going to hear a song in 4/4. There are some famous exceptions. For example, a lot of police songs use slightly obscure time signatures, and that makes them interesting, makes them stand out. Another one that springs to mind that's quite famous would be Golden Brown by the Stranglers, and that one, I don't know, it's just got it's a really interesting feel to it. I think that one's written in 13, so if you wanted to count it, you'd probably go something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, depending on how you're going to divide it up. Now there are different ways of dividing obscure time signatures, so if you wanted to get to 13 you could do it in other groupings, so you could go 4 twice and then, let me see, 4 twice and then 5 would do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. It depends a little bit on the emphasis that you're putting on certain beats as well. There is technically a correct way to count it and an incorrect way to count it, but for now we're not going to worry too much about that. I thought it was a hornet. It's not a hornet. It's just some reasonably scary little moth. Okay, that's a bit weird, isn't it? So, I'm going to demonstrate an example which I wrote about 3-4 years ago with a singer I work with called Ricky. We are the Not Quite Quartet. You've probably seen links to our videos in the sidebar, and if not, check out the Not Quite Quartet on YouTube. I will warn you that some of the songs are a little bit risque, but I think you'll probably enjoy them. This one is a serious song. It's called Little Girl, and without going into all the details about the song, basically I was at the time listening to Golden Brown a lot, and I wanted to write something in a weird time signature, so I chose to do something. Well, I didn't choose to do something, I just sort of came across 11 time just doodling around in DAD GBE tuning. Now the tune itself is relatively straightforward. The bass line is going and then on top of that I've just got fifths. To get to the odd time signature, I'm adding in extra beats in between, so we've got now it's kind of got almost a waltz feel, but it's kind of misses a step at the end. There's a bit of a skip just there, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that loops around. At various points in the song it does switch back to a standard 6 or 12 depending on how you want to think about it. So in the chorus it goes into a 6 or a 12, and also in the breakdown it goes into a 6 and a 12, which okay, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again, that's more of a waltz feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want to necessarily teach you that song, but I wanted you to think, if you are going to write a song, don't necessarily do it in 4/4. A couple of good examples of just acoustic guitar pieces, putting aside the famous ones, Police and Golden Brown by the Stranglers. You've got Spin by Eric Roche, and that's in 5/time, and also big obvious one would be Take 5 in 5/time. Aerial Boundaries switches between several different time signatures at different points in the song, and that's another interesting thing you can do to give the song a change of pace, a change of feel. It's a little bit weird writing in an odd time signature, and it might take you a while to get your fingers around it if you've never tried to play any songs in weird time signatures. I would recommend listening to a few. Perhaps the ones I mentioned would be a good place to start. I think you can find most of those on YouTube, and I'll try and put some links to the Mike Hedges one and the Eric Roche one down in the in the details box below. It would be really good to get some video responses for this. If anyone has any thoughts on weird time signatures or any songs they've written in them, I'm always interested to hear what people do with the odd time signatures. And if you combine this with something like an auto-tuning, you can really come up with something that sounds perhaps very different from what you would naturally tend towards. For me, I find that I generally do write in 4/4. It's quite difficult to get into an auto-tuning, and the one that I just played, I just stumbled across. Literally, I was just doodling around and it just happened. And then once I found it, I couldn't stop playing it for about an hour, because I knew that if I did, I would just completely forget where all the beats should be and how the feel should be. So if you do work in any auto-tunings and try the weird time signatures, try to have a little recorder running or a video running, just so that you can go back and reference it, because the next day it's very difficult to remember what you were doing if you don't actually make a mental note or write it down. It's almost impossible to get back to. Hope this has been useful and informative, and yeah, I'm going to do some more of these just ideas in how to get into composing your own songs, and this is just the first of a series, hopefully. So this is me from a park in Japan. Okay, I'm on a boat in the middle of a lake in Ueno Park in Tokyo.